Where do you even start with the absolute shite state that Britain is in today? The Tory press continued their demonisation of Angela Rayner until it backfired because everyone realised it was a smear campaign by vested interests, like the boss of one of the main culprits, the Daily Mail. Paul Dacre was recommended for a peerage by Boris Johnson and is resident outside of the UK for tax reasons. And where did this information on Angela Rayner come from? A book by Lord Ashcroft, the former deputy chairman of the Conservative Party, who avoided £112 million in tax due to his non-dom status. But it's fine that the non-dom tax the Tories stole from Labour, but watered down, will save Rishi's family about £250 million. It's fine for Michelle Donnellan, Secretary of State for Science, Innovation and Technology, to claim what's now grown to £34,000 to pay her libel costs. It's fine that Robert Jenrick helped a Tory donor avoid £45 million of tax. It's fine that Nadeem Zahawi tried to avoid millions in tax and claimed taxpayer-funded expenses of over £5,000 to heat his horses' stables. It's fine that Common Sense Minister Esther McVey claims tens of thousands of pounds rent expense from the public money, even though the flat she claims for is less than a mile from her husband's home. It's fine that Tory Dola and boss of JCB, a company that still allows its products to be sold in Russia, is Lord Anthony Bamford, and he's being investigated for 500 million in tax. It's fine that the government has written off billions in COVID VIP lane debt from friends and donors. Going back further, it's fine that Margaret Thatcher, that true patriot, registered her £12 million London mansion in the British Virgin Islands to save £5 million in tax. But Angela Rayner, 15 years ago when she wasn't even a politician, now that's a scandal. But that's the point. The establishment is scared of a working class woman who's managed to make a successful career in politics. They think the system is there for them to manipulate, and she's a threat to their establishment, so they're throwing everything at her. There was even a small demo, highly publicised, against Angela Rayner, until it was revealed the local Tory MP had staged it with employees of a company he owns, so it wasn't quite as spontaneous as they said. One thing that hasn't been reported much, is at all, is that the Tory party has been fined over £10,000 this year and over £17,000 in 2021 by the Electoral Commission for failing to report donations properly. In the middle of a cost of living crisis, Tesco have announced record profits of 2.3 billion. That's up from 882 million last year. And last year their boss was paid 4.4 million, so this year he must be rubbing his hands. At the same time, many Tesco workers are having to claim benefits to top up their money. So in effect, the taxpayer is subsidising Tesco. And it's the same for any employer. If you're not willing to pay people enough to live on, you shouldn't expect us to pay them for you. I'm not against people receiving benefits. They just shouldn't need them. The post office scandal rolls on, with bosses saying they didn't realise the organisation they managed was bringing prosecutions. One said he regretted saying postmasters had their hands in the tills. He told a victim who was wrongly sent to prison across the inquiry room that it would live with him forever, but not as much as it will for that poor woman. I don't know how she showed the restraint to not stand up and confront him. It's simple. Lock the fuckers up, take back all their bonuses, and give that money to the victims to tide them over until the real compensation is paid. And to pay the compensation, how about the Post Office and Fujitsu put a few £1 million each into a fund that's shared with the postmasters and let those companies take on the legal costs of arguing between them who pays what percentage. On the back of the revelations about Fujitsu involvement, Rishi Sunak said there'd be no more government contracts for them. But this week they got their first one of the year worth £155,000, which is absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Fujitsu is a partner of Infosys, which is owned by Rishi's wife's family. Infosys have also been given a £250 million NHS contract and a £560 million financial services contract. Funny that. There is some good news this week, though. GB News backer Paul Marshall is to step down from the board of GB News, which has lost 76 million since it launched. So it could be following Talk TV into the gutter where right-wing propaganda machines go to die. Usually I sympathise with redundancies, but in this case, nah. Further afield, the knife attack in the Australian shopping centre was horrific, and so was the reaction of the usual suspects. Julia Hartley-Brewer, Tommy Robinson, Nigel Farage, and even Tom Tugendhat, who was Secretary of State for Security, should really know better. They all immediately came out on social media, with posts that have mainly been deleted now, declaring that this was an Islamist attack. Never let the facts get in the way, a bit of division stoking, eh? And to finish, I can't avoid mentioning the attack on Israel by Iran. Why we're helping them to shoot down Iranian missiles and placing a target on the UK for future terrorist attacks is beyond me. Could it be anything to do with the money involved, like for the arms we're continuing to provide? Please do share and follow, and why not choose notifications while you're at it?